My beloved family, every year for the past 10 years, I have hosted the Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition. Over the years, it would have grown by leaps and bounds to engulf the whole nation and beyond. As His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey has taught us, a people without knowledge of self is like a tree without roots. Internationally, wherever African people are found, the education system is not geared to teach them about the knowledge of self. This lack of knowledge of self greatly fuels the downward spiral from the womb to the tomb for many of our people. Let me remind you of the officially recognized school to prison pipeline. The African History Month essay competition has been designed to encourage and inspire the zeal in our children for the knowledge of self. The competition encourages them to research their history and heritage, then articulate it in essay form. This is a project that demands thousands of dollars just for the basic prizes, marketing, and promotion. But we are not focused on the basics. We are thinking big. We have children to save. On Sunday, the 5th of November, 2023, we of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will be hosting the third of our annually presented Patrons Day. On that day, we present our international webathon designed to create and raise the funds for our national and international African History Month essay competition. To deliver a well-executed Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition with prize-giving ceremony and banquet attached, the budget will be $26,500 United States currency. This is for the national essay competition, while the international essay competition will be $31,225 United States currency, a small price for the results that will come. It is obvious that we have been consistent with this project. We have a clear record of good accountability and great transparency. So those who are well-wishers of our children should feel free to contribute to this very important and timely project. Our ultimate target on Patrons Day, the 5th of November, 2023, is $57,725. Family, we are looking for your genuine assistance in this long-running, well-respected project, Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge African History Month essay competition. Patrons Day, 5th of November, 2023. You can contribute via PayPal, CashApp, and via other apps. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Give thanks in advance.
Yes, royal family, once again, blessed love, give thanks continually to Negus and Agas, exalt him in the highest Emperor Haile Selassie I. We give thanks for your presence with us. Of course, you are in the nest, the tiger's nest, the Honorable Priest Isaac. Of course, giving the esteemed joy to really welcome you again into the nest, where we will, as always, just take this thing to another level and another heights, you know. This evening, I want to, of course, giving thanks for the Sabbath past. This evening, I want to touch upon the upcoming coronation celebration of Emperor Haile Selassie I. And we want to speak about the mystics as it relates to the number 72. Now, I'm telling you, this is going to be unlike anything you have ever heard. I know we all know that 72 nations came and paid homage at the coronation of Haile Selassie I. Very good, but that's just the beginning. In fact, we're going to start with Psalms 72. And I think by now many ones are well acquainted with the what is called the mystery of Asar, the Osiris mystery, as it shows that he also had a banquet where 72 individuals came. They betrayed him, though, at the very same banquet. So really, even the Asar mystery from the master of ceremonies, I think it has been brought to the world that the ancient mystery of Osiris is no longer a mystery. It doesn't appear as if everyone really is accepting this, but it's okay. That doesn't change the fact that there's no longer a mystery as it relates to who the great god Asar is. It is Emperor Haile Selassie I. And, you know, as we go into the midst of this reasoning this evening, we will touch upon that. But we definitely have several things we want to cover as it relates to the coronation. Remember, this is now the 93rd anniversary of the coronation of Haile Selassie I, and of course, Empress Waziri Menen. And we give thanks for such a meditation. Of course, as we are highlighting now, family, Patrons Day, let me just definitely remind you that Patrons Day this year is Sunday, the 5th day of November. So that is right now. And it's going to be a wonderful setting, a wonderful sit down. Of course, as you could have, as you saw, myself and Brother Ankoma Dread, we definitely had a wonderful reasoning as it relates to Rastafari and examining the theology, examining, I will use the term in this sense, examining the religion, examining the spirituality, and of course the economic state as well. All of that is going to be up for reasoning, family. I'm looking for everyone to be with I and I in the house. That will be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, the full house of the House of Priests, of course, and of course, the Rasta Round Table. We'll be gathering together with some other visitors and guests, which will be coming in. So if the 3 hours is not enough, we'll put more on it and have a proper reasoning. And of course, yourself will be there to interact with us. And that will be on Radio Anu, and of course, right here on Radio Anu TV. So looking forward to your presence. Make sure you mark that day and time, live and direct. And of course, that's just one part. That's, as I said, bringing down the curtains on Patrons Day. So make sure you are with us from 6 in the uprising on Sunday, the 5th of November on Radio Anu. That's on the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge website, priestisaacinstitute.com. I think you know the drill by now. All the link is in the links are in the description below. The links for everything, but for sure to the website, straight to Radio Anu. The link is in the description below, priestisaacinstitute.com. Sunday, the 5th of November, 6 p.m., from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Patreons Day is going to be, I mean, a real blessed day. In the other world, they would say it's going to be a wild day. Well, a lot of things will be hitting you from different angles, meteorites and meteors, but for sure, it's going to be an upful, very, very spiritual and entertaining and giving life, not ending anything, and edifying within the realms and so many different things, speakers, prizes, offers, yeah, too much to even mention at the moment. just make sure that you are in the house. And even before we seal this evening, we will touch upon that once more. But as I said, I want to look upon the coronation of the emperor. I think most of us have an idea of the whole aspect of the coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie I. And let me just say quickly again, for sure, this is a very important part. Okay? This is a very important part of Patron's Day. We will officially be launching the Save the Green Castle Hill project. Rescue Mount Anu. And we're asking everyone to join the frequency to stop the destruction, not join the fight. You know, sometimes you have to be careful the words you choose, the energy you bring. We join the frequency and join the struggle. You understand? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have to fight, you fight. You know, and life itself becomes a fight. Don't get me wrong. But we're not here to you know, encourage the mantra, the struggle continues. If it continues, well, it's continuing, but we ain't gonna be no struggle continue. We're here to kill the struggle. It's about time the struggle stops. You know, we can't be struggling forever. So as you perceive, you achieve. The struggle must die. You understand? So join the frequency. To stop the destruction. We just got to will it. Affirm it. Not have to fight, just affirm it. You see, that concept now, and I don't want to take the fight out of no one, but the concept is there's a specific art, specific martial art. I think it's called Aikido, wherein you don't really fight, you know. You take the opponent's take his fight or her fight and you just work it against them. So you flip them over and throw them on their back and they land on their stomach and all sorts of things by their own energy, their own power. You not resisting them, but just working with them. It's almost like the waves. Instead of resisting the waves, just let the waves guide you to where it's going. So it's a mystic concept within the whole aspect of spirituality. Then it's spirituality we're talking about. The whole aspect of balancing yourself within yourself. So you understand what the world is about. Don't get me wrong. And if you have to fight, you have to fight. Yes, and we do encounter struggles. Nobody's saying that, but within yourself, you got to affirm that we killing the struggle. And you have to will. Just as I said, instead of battling, just let it pass. You have to understand the cosmics of everything is happening for a reason too, all of these things. When you comprehend these things, you know how to go around certain things that if you weren't aware of the knowledge of why it's there, you might try to run right into it. I wonder if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, this is not necessarily the program for tonight, but you know, if you miss it, just rewind it and check it again. But join the frequency to stop the destruction. But as I said, on the 5th of November, we will go more into it. I think we all have an idea of the importance of Green Castle Hill. If not, yet, as I said, we'll be going deeper into that even prior to the 5th of November, you understand. And then when you comprehend the importance of such a space, such a real estate, and then you understand how they are destroying it. And of course, I'm going to make you understand, also comprehend, understand what it is your brother has been doing as it relates to trying to, you know, alleviate such a destruction for several decades now. And then we will see why joining the frequency is so important. Very good. So just continue to stay tuned, you know, family. Continue to stay tuned to Radio Anu. You know, all the updates are on Radio Anu, revolutionary radio. Give thanks. And of course, to Radio Anu TV which you are gazing on at the moment. 1930, 2nd of November, we did a nice sit down. Was it? I think it was just prior to the Sabbath, wasn't it? As we dealt with the coronation of the emperor and the movements of the heavens at the time. Anyone that did not see that program, I would encourage you to look at it again. I think it was entitled Haile Selassie Coronation Seen in the Stars and Planets, Constellation, something of the sort. So once you are to type that into our channel, put it in with my name, that should come up right away. That was done just about 2 days ago or a day and a half ago, as it relates to Haile Selassie and what's happening in the heavens or happened in the heavens on that day. Just the reality of it, you know. You yourself can put your own interpretation. I'm just showing you the academics. Now, so at least going into this conversation with that in mind, you know, comprehending the mystics of the King of Kings and, of course, the coronation and the Empress within. And you saw everything. You saw how everything was doubled up. Just reminding you, those who saw that video, again, if you didn't, I would go and check it. You saw how Jupiter and Pluto was paired together. You know, you saw the mistake of where they were together in Gemini the twin, pardon me, Gemini the twin, the father and the mother at the same time. Everything was paired. Something else was paired. I can't recall off my head. I think it was Venus was paired with Antares, being right in the throat of the scorpion. Both were paired together. You could see them almost as if they were cat eyes rising in the sky. And then also you have what was paired again. There was another pair. I think it was Uranus. Uranus was with the moon in the fish, which of course the fish again is a pair. So it was a lot of double vibration within the whole scope of the heavens at the coronation of Haile Selassie I. So when we understand, no, I think it was Jupiter and Neptune, you know, because Pluto now, this is another thing. Pluto, remember Pluto, I think Pluto was in Leo. 1930 was the year that they discovered Pluto, interestingly. And you know, that's the planet now that everyone is trying to say is not a planet, because Pluto was discovered the same year, the 9th planet, because ancient astronomy is a living science, you know. The mystics, family never rule out the mystics, you know. I think even watching our programs and listening to the different things that we bring forward, you could see that we thrive on the mystics. You know, our first program ever was called the Mystic Vibration. You know. 1997, the 14th, the 15th day of February begins the mystic vibration. So everything was the mystics, and we have come to learn that the mystics is just a natural thing. It's not even no big mystic. It's just natural. It's just reality. It's just another level of the scope. It's a bit beyond the so-called 5 senses, really. So let us move forward. As I said, the whole mystics of the heavens. So Pluto, the 9th planet, you know, we speak of Haile Selassie. We had the discussion about the ninth child that was born, of those and those before all siblings would have passed. You know, the power thereof, the coronation, the 9th planet discovered, the small and little planet. You know, the little planet. They name it off of the dog. That's what they call it, Pluto. Yeah. But it's just interesting, you know, a mighty family, because we always speak of that heights. Don't underestimate them as well. I know we make a joke and we say that that we make the joke and we say that God is dog spelled backward, but that's not by no mistake, eh? Yeah, that's not by no mistake. I tell you, it's not by no mistake that the most famous dog is called Lassie. See Lassie. Lassie is not no mistake. Eh? It's not by no mistake at all. So even naming the ninth planet and that relationship with the dog, and we've done whole programs on that, so I don't want to even rest on that point. I just want to highlight the point, because that ninth planet, Pluto, as it's called, which is, hear this, Pluto, which the ancient Egyptians, as they call them, compared Pluto to a star. Remember, on the Sumerian tablets, you already see the sun with 9 planets in it. So people talking about the discovering planet in 1930, talk about late. I mean, talk about late, straight up. If on the Sumerian cuneiform, you already have, some people say, I think they say it's 7 planets and moons. That's some people's interpretation. Well, I interpret 9 planets. Everyone has their own opinion. I interpret 9 planets personally. And I'm just showing the family, we're getting into the discussion now, but this is just a preface. I'm just showing the family that so if from that time, the Sumerian civilizations, people argue that it's older than ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet. They argue. So if that is so, that means you gone real far back, and they already see 9 planets. Okay, at least 7. You know what I mean? Right. So when people say they're discovering Pluto in 1930 and Uranus whenever they discovered that, and Neptune the other day, they're obviously very, very late to the party. And then they have all power to disqualify these planets. Well, let me change our mind. Pluto is not a planet again. Yeah? Not to the mystics. You can say what you want. You understand? It is not by chance that it was discovered in 1930. So as I said, it was paired. Pluto was paired with Jupiter. It was Pluto that was paired with Jupiter inside of the mother and the father, which is Gemini. We did that whole program, which is, of course, even can be seen even at the helms of the coronation. So, family, what I want us to actually do, I want us to begin by going into Psalm 72. We're just going to speak about the mystics of the number 72 as it relates to the coronation specifically. So let us just, get comfortable. Everything is up full. Everything is all right. No need to worry at all. And what I want us to do is, of course, just to keep the mind open. Very good. So 72, even before I begin to read this, yes, it's no mystery. We already understand. What do we understand, by the way? Okay, I mentioned the Osiris mystery and the mystery of Asar. We have already connected Asar with Haile Selassie I. I don't think there's no great disagreement with that. I think even as time moves on, we have a lot of more, free thinkers as such amongst us. So we can see this is not religion we're talking. We even understand the scope of incarnation and the continual spirit. I mean, these fellas here, listen. So anyway, when you observe Asar again, from the birth to the exile as such, Asar is the Ethiopian king. Osiris is the Ethiopian king, and we all comprehend the 16 crucified saviors. We comprehend that it's not just the 16 of them. In mythology in general, you have a similar story with many different of the gods. So the same thing can be said of Asar, the same thing can be said of the Heru and Kenu, once you understand their story. Very good. So Osiris or Asar, definitely even the coronation, he was basically coronated. It's referred to as a banquet. And he had 72, you understand? He had 72 high-ranking individuals that came to his banquet to crown him, basically. And they had this casket, and he was put in the casket, and he was thrown in the river to die, you know, and by these same 72 at the banquet. And of course, at the head was Set, which is considered to be his brother. Some versions say that he was cut into 14 pieces. Some say he was cut into 16 pieces. We understand that the time before his resurrection was exactly 5 years. And when he resurrected, that is Asar, he became the constellation of Sahu. That's the basic story. You have different variations here or there. But again, just like many of the other myths, but this is our myth here now. This is the real deal. Directly, it is connected to Emperor Haile Selassie I. You don't have to get religious to see that. Again, even down to the date and time. You know, 72 who came in 1930. These are the same people that betrayed him, you know, at the League of Nations, when they betrayed him with Article 16, cut into 16 pieces, you know. And interesting, you know, because five years, we already go, you know, from the 5th of May, 1936 to the 5th of May, 1941, 5 years exactly to the day. That's Haile Selassie we're speaking of, when he left Ethiopia as such, when they said Italy, that's the day they have Italy officially take over Ethiopia too, you know, the 5th of May, 5th or the 6th of May, 36. And he officially took back the throne, officially, on the 5th of May, 1941. So it's exactly to the day, 5 years to fulfill that very prophecy. But what is interesting in the circle, because the 5-point star or the pentagram and the pentagon itself in geometry represents, the 5-point star represents grace. That's the symbol of 5, you know. 5 is the symbol of grace. 5-point star, the 5 bleeding wounds. And that pentagram symbol with the circle. 360, you divide that 360 into 5 is 5 72s you get. So even 72, 5 times is the full circle, the full cycle. So numerology is God too, you know. It's a religion, if you want to call it that, a theology all by itself, you know. Very good. So let's read Psalms 72. And this is let me see if it's referred to as that here. I don't see it here, but in the book it's called a Psalm for Solomon. You understand? I think there's another one in the book called a Psalm for Solomon. Now, I argue this is the coronation psalm. Well, I say argue, to me it's obvious, but once or twice, ones came against me and said, no, it's not. But so I guess I have to say I argue. Psalm 72. Give the king thy judgments, O God, and thy righteousness unto the king's son. He shall judge thy people with righteousness, and thy poor with judgment. The mountains shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. They shall fear thee as long as the sun and the moon endure, throughout all generations. He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. In his days shall the righteous flourish, and abundance of peace so long as the moon endureth. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. And they that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. The kings of Tarshish and of the isles shall bring presents. The kings of Sheba and Seba shall offer gifts. Yea, all kings shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him. For he shall deliver the needy when he cried. The poor also, the poor also, and him that hath no helper. He shall spare the poor and needy, and shall save the souls of the needy. He shall redeem their souls from deceit and violence, and precious shall their blood be in his sight. And he shall live. That's a good one there. And to him shall be given the gold of Sheba, pardon me, you can tick that off. You know them things they like, you get about, yeah, tick that one. And to him shall be given the gold of Sheba. Prayer also shall be made for him continually, and daily shall he be praised. That's him again. And because there's no human being on the planet that get more praise than Haile Selassie the first. Not no fictitious religious character, you know, not no make-believe. They're not nothing, no painting on the wall that Michelangelo brother, and none of that stuff. I'm talking about a real human being, somebody that we know historically is a human being. There's no human being. I'm not going to stick on the point too long. You can sit down and do the research. There's nobody as a person, a real person, a real human being that you know that get more praises than Haile Selassie the first. You can go, that real person now, no make-believe. No make-believe. Yes, I understand the make-believe characters and supposedly historical characters that people debate about every day. Yes, a lot of the world are magnetized by that falsehood, but we're talking of real people. Yes, Haile Selassie the first. Daily shall he be praised. And there shall be a handful of the corn of corn in the earth upon the top of the mountains, and the fruit thereof shall shake like Lebanon. And they of the city shall flourish like grass of the earth. His name shall endure forever. You better believe that his name shall be continued as long as the sun, longer than that. And men shall be blessed in him, and all nations shall call him blessed. Blessed be the Lord God, the God of Israel, who only doeth wondrous things, and blessed be his glorious name forever. And let the whole earth be filled with his glory. Amen and amen. The praise of David, the son of Jesse, are ended. Jah Rastafari, repeating the 20th and final verse of such Psalm 70 and 2, a psalm for Solomon. The praise of David, the son of Jesse, are ended. Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Beautiful. Beautiful. Follow me here, family. What is good about this psalm? There's not too much, you don't have too much fantastic vibration in it. Like, and he shall bust out of the clouds, and the lightning shall touch the earth, and the dragon shall jump into the sea, and one man shall pluck out his horn. And you don't get, it's like a kind of simple psalm, just a real psalm that has some real points. You know, I always like to say that there's some points as it relates to Haile Selassie in the same Bible here. Some very simple points. Simple in them, so simple. I know people are arguing, well, you know, Solomon never exists, David never exists. But of course, for those who really are in tune with this vibes here, I think, you know, we passed that stage a long time, but sometimes you have to, you know, sometimes you have to go back out into the rain and get some people who need to come inside. But anyway, what I'm saying, outside of all of that, yet still there are some key prophecies that are so simple. When I say simple, I want you to get the point that I'm coming at here. So, okay, the Solomonic lineage. we all understand how it leads to Ethiopia. Because if it's one thing, even fellas that say they burn in Bible is enough Ras that come up in the Bible and understand it. Whether whatever, I'm not in nobody's mind to know what they're thinking about, but they know what I'm talking about. So the lineage comes straight into Ethiopia. You understand? All right, fair enough. So Acts says that the Mosiah shall rise up Christ to sit upon the throne of David. All right. Sounds very, straightforward. He shall be crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He shall be the Lion of the tribe of Judah. On his thigh shall be written King of Kings and Lord of Lords. To me, these are some very straight point, down to the name. So in other words, you can tell a simple person that, listen, look at here. What? Christ shall come back as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Oh, Haile Selassie. You see how simple that is? That is so simple. Now you can get a bit technical and say, well, listen, there were other King of Kings and Lord of Lords, Menelik II and Johannes. And yeah, we understand that. Okay, fair enough. Then what it does, it sends you to do a bit more research, and then you understand, okay, yeah, that is true. But we can see now that there's an outstanding King of Kings and Lord of Lords here. In fact, even down to the coronation setting, where one was literally crowned. Remember, we had to do all of this in-depth research for a pedimec, where one was literally crowned the Lion of Judah as a triple crown to seal up the triple crown monarchy. You understand? So some very simple, what you call low-hanging fruit. And I'm saying that to bring it to this, the 72nd Psalm. Nothing too elaborate, just some simple vibes. To give the king thy judgment. He shall judge thy people with righteousness. Come on, we know the history of Haile Selassie. And thy poor with judgment. We know the history of Haile Selassie. Is there nothing too far off? He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. Come on, don't get me too heated now. We know the history of Haile Selassie, even through the programs we have done. Just a program we do about 2 strong ago. And I don't think it's the one on when someone was trying to question how is it Haile Selassie crushed Freemasonry, and we did a program showing you exactly how Haile Selassie crushed Freemasonry. And if anyone's saying, come on, that's impossible, well, go and watch the video we did entitled How Haile Selassie Crushed Freemasonry. We can't be doing all of that now. But I think after that, I did a program when I was highlighting what Perkins was dealing with in the undercover, the economic hitman, the confessions of the economic hitman, how he was speaking of, the different countries that they infiltrated and got people to sell out or take them out or whatever they did, and how they just couldn't penetrate Ethiopia. Obviously, we went into all of that. So this is very, very important. He shall break in pieces the oppressor. I mean, come on, man. You just have to understand the history. Just this very day, myself and the Honorable Empress Naya speaking more so her of the heart of the emperor and exactly what he went through during the time of so-called exile, and even from the battlefield to the diplomatic battlefield and back on the battlefield again, you understand? And how easy it was for the emperor to have said, boy, this is really tough, brother. Remember, that's what the emperor was showing us, that Mussolini and other people were whispering in his ear saying, hey, listen, you can keep your sovereignty. Let's work out a deal. In fact, there was a time just before before the emperor returned, Mussolini was begging the King of Kings, read the autobiography to work out something because he was running out of money, running out of everything, running out of the confidence of his people. Mussolini, the king, hold him out. Till he begging, literally begging, read, where them books there? Read the autobiography of our Lord and Savior. You understand the real Bible? See it here? Let me take it. I'm coming back to this stuff here. The true autobiography, pardon me, of the King of Kings, part 1, part 2. Clearly giving you full understanding of exactly what our father went through. So Mussolini begging us, saying, you know, I don't think he used the word beg, you know, at the moment. I can't even pull it out. I would read it for you. But there's a letter that he wrote to the king, putting how many things on the table, and the king showed us that, yeah, he was running out of ammunition and running out of money, and the confidence of his people was definitely dwindling. You know? And remember, his years, the emperor himself holding out, you know, because Mussolini and other people were saying, hey man, we can give you a castle, make you go ahead and live like a king. You see, yeah man, we just ship over your whole family, everybody come in, whoever you want to come can come. We can go back there, we can carry you back, and you can rule this half, and we'll rule the other half. All sorts of things they were trying to work out. Yeah, in fact, I think that's what Mussolini was trying to work out in that one, to give in a half thing, like, okay, you take half. You know, before you had a deal where you can rule, but we gonna really rule. You just be the ceremonial thing and we'll run the place. Yeah, the king not with that. Haile Selassie not with that. I wonder if you comprehend what I'm saying. You know, sometimes the accent may be different, you know, but don't feel no way. I tolerate people's accents, so you should tolerate mine. What you say? Yeah. But the point is that it come down to you take half and we take half. Imagine that. You take half and we take half. King say, yeah, I have you now. Yeah, so he shall break in pieces the oppressors. Nobody can come to me with no small talk. Haile Selassie crush, break, mash up Freemasonry. I don't care what you say going on today. Yeah, give thanks our God of gods, our King of Kings, pardon me, you know. Yeah, don't feel no way. So it is. So anyway, so the Psalms, the Psalms continue to say now. So as I said, is he shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. Of course, a bit of poetry. Don't get carried away. That's the said man. And in his day shall the righteous flourish, and the abundance of peace, so long as the moon endured. We understand geopolitics. That's the same man there himself, Psalm 72. And he shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. We did a program as it relates to Africa being one already, according to the book of Nahum. These same terminologies were used. All of Africa. Who's the father of Africa? Come on. Who unite Africa? Who's the man that went to all the corner of Africa to bring peace and stop wars? We don't know. Haile Selassie the first. So we get it. And they that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. The kings of Tarshish and of the isles shall bring presents. The kings of Sheba and Seba shall offer gifts. Yea, all kings shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him. Now, you want to do some numerology, Psalm 72, because Solomon, his numbers, Psalm 72, 72 times the 10, multiplied by the 10. We just add the zero, it's 720. The number remains. We getting into some vibes, family. Don't lose it. Don't be watching half of this and say you're getting up. We haven't even begun as yet. All right. So the king of Tarshish, the kings, and of the isles shall bring presents. The science here now is that at the coronation of Haile Selassie I, in fact, you read it again in the King's Words and other books, Britain was the first to arrive. Britain was the first to arrive. We are reading Psalms 72. I am saying to you, just in case maybe you're not getting that part of the analysis here, that we're dealing with numerology. And the coded book called the Bible has purposely aligned the 72nd Psalm with the coronation narrative. The Psalm for Solomon. And here ends, this is how we done it. Here ends the Psalms of David, the son of Jesse. Yeah? Right there, that's where it ends. At least 80 something, I think, 80 more Psalms in the book. That's here ends the Psalms of David, the son of Jesse. I think there are other Psalms attributed to David after that. So we're not talking about Psalms that are in their historical framework when you speak of chronology here. But for sure, the 72nd Psalm of the book says here, end the Psalm. The 72nd Psalm said the Psalm's done here in Psalm 72. In Psalm 72, the Psalms of David done. Come on, man. This is like the archetypes that Brother Ankoma, the Jed, was showing us. The Psalms done, the man who is the last King of Kings, as we say, the King of Kings, and the last Lion of Judah, who sealed the deal. Here ends the Psalms of David, the Psalm for Solomon, Psalm 72. The kings of Tarshish. This is when they speak of those bearing gifts, all kings shall bow down before him. That's the 72 kings. The kings of Tarshish is the first to be mentioned. And according to history, Britain was the first to come. Now, many ones have different philosophy as it relates, or different outlook as it relates to where Tarshish really is in modern day history. But at least we can agree that there is the school of thought that Britain, Great Britain, is the Tarshish of the Bible. This is coming from prophecyworkshop.com, not Wikipedia. New evidence supports the identification of Britain as Tarshish in Bible prophecy. There has long been a theory that when Tarshish is mentioned prophetically in the Bible, it refers to modern-day Great Britain. I first heard this theory in the 1990s and have a book published in 1941 entitled, Is Great Britain Tarshish? By Reverend W. Lamb, which also promotes the theory. There has been other places identified as Tarshish, and I was not sure whether to believe this interpretation or not. But recent archaeological finds in Israel have convinced me that Tarshish is indeed Great Britain. All right. Now, I'm just showing to you, I'm just opening up to your thought pattern, just in case all of this may be new to you, the different schools of thought. You know, I myself would more lean to, yes, Tarshish being Great Britain. I'm not trying to set up no great religious outlook on it, and I don't want no debate over it. You understand what I'm saying? As you can see, there are different theories. If you think it's somewhere else, hey, listen, all powers to you. I'm just highlighting for those who are seeking knowledge that there's a strong movement out there that considers Tarshish to be the Great Britain of today, Tarshish of the Bible to be the Great Britain of today. So I'm saying that in Psalm 72, it mentions that the kings of Tarshish and of the isles shall bring presents. They came first. And in the scope of the coronation of 1930, when 72 Psalms, 72 nations came, of the 72 Psalms, of the 72 nations that came first, it was Tarshish that came first, of the 72 nations, I should say. Bearing gifts, of course. And of the isles, the kings of Sheba and Seba shall offer gifts. Man, the list is too long to mention, man. Just say all kings shall fall down before him. And we see the videos with all, and listen to this, the man. In the videos, you know, yes, the kings of Sheba, his own, all the kings of Ethiopia came and paid homage to the emperor. The emperor lock off them feudalism business and say, yeah, it's time to praise the one supreme central nucleus here. The kings of Sheba, Ethiopia, and Seba, and all in Arabia came and offered gifts. All kings shall bow down. And that's not just the coronation, you know. That's beyond the coronation. We have touched all of this. Who is the King of Glory? That's beyond the coronation. Every zone, every situation, every audience that the emperor is in, he must hold the highest seat. There is no example you can give where the emperor has held even a second place. I mean, especially when it's obvious when he's amongst other heads of states. It's obvious who is. I mean, yes, there are times he might visit, he'll visit a place, wherever the place is, and, you know, that don't necessarily mean the president going to come out of his president's seat and give him, and whoever king come off of the throne. In fact, there are cases I know where some of them tried that, and the emperor tell him, no, you stay in your seat. It's all right. I'll just sit next to you here. Yeah, I mean, come on. Everything's okay. I have my own throne at home. But the point is that you can see for sure, even in Psalm 72, the Psalm for Solomon, the ending of the Psalms of David, 72 nations come to his coronation. Who's the first? The kings of Tarshish and of the isles shall bring presents. You understand? So that is obvious. So again, the 72 again is key. When you understand again the number 72, you know, it goes into even the whole aspect of the ancient astronomy. That is why we speak all the time of the 1 degree move of the sun. The sun moves 1 degree every 72 years as it relates to the precession of the equinox. So that means now that in the 2,160 years precession of the equinox from one age to the other age, which is one slice of it's 12 of these to make that full procession of the equinoxes. So you have 30 degrees as such per year, not per year, per age, 30 degrees per age. So within that age, from one age to the other age is a 30-degree movement that has to be made in the astronomical realms by the sun within 2,160 years. And that sun moves one of them degree every 72 years. You follow that? Clean science. It says that the sperm fully matures in 72 days. So you see, it's just science on a high realms within itself, even with the number 72. So that's why you could see it in different formations and even in mythology. That is to prove to you that mythology is science, deep science. 72 plus 72 is 144. And 144 again within itself has a number, the number of the Israelites. Again, another program we did a few programs ago. Some of these programs may have been Tiger's Nest, programs. So that's another thing. That's exclusively radio. I do make sure that you subscribe to the Tiger's Nest radio program if you're not a subscriber to the Tiger's Nest radio program. So what that ensures of you is that you'll never miss another episode of the Tiger's Nest again. That's a radio program that comes on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. So you can check the link in the description below to get to Radio Anu. You should be on Radio Anu. When this seal up, you should jump straight to Radio Anu, see what we're doing on Radio Anu. Enough information on Radio Anu, enough vibes on Radio Anu. And the Tiger's Nest, you just become a subscriber. And every evening after the Tiger's Nest is completed, we will send the Tiger's Nest to you via the email. You'll get it in your inbox and you get to listen it at your own leisure, own pleasure. The Tiger's Nest radio program. Very good. Radio Anu. And since I'm doing that, let me just remind you once again, it is the 5th of November, family. When? The 5th of November. Specifically, we are talking about Patreon's Day right here on Radio Anu TV, but exclusively full out throughout the day on Radio Anu International. That's the radio station, online radio station, the international flavor, the universal spice. I'm looking for everyone to be with us. I'm looking for everyone to make it. That's a Sunday, the 5th of November. Make it your business to be with us, to lock into Radio Anu, to listen to us throughout the day as we celebrate. Remember the webathon as it relates to the upcoming National and International African History Month essay competition. Of course, everyone knows exactly what they have to do to be a part of that. It's just going to be a beautiful day. And remember, we're going to have the panel discussion on that day as it relates to Rastafari moving forward, our economic state, and of course, as it relates to our theology. So the two highest single numbers, which is 8 and 9, 8 multiplied by 9, 72. That alone, stands out. So you see the 72 appearing in some very mystic places. For example, those who put the Septuagint together. And this is another thing, 72 and 70 are interchanged in many ways when it comes to mythology and esoteric writings. So the Septuagint now, there were 72 individuals, although the Septuagint is 70, there were 72 individuals that translated that supposedly from the Hebrew Torah into the Greek Septuagint. And interestingly, you know, as a person that looks into a lot of mystic things, you know, the 72 appears in many accepted myths. Now, there are those who consider the Septuagint and the whole story about these 70 or 72 scholars that came from the Levant, that came down into Egypt and went into the museum and went into the Library of Alexandria and translated the Greek, the Torah, the Hebrew Torah, into the Greek Septuagint. Many ones consider that to be fable and fiction as well, and not historically sound. You know, but just interestingly, it has the 72, just like many other things that are considered myth, you know, the 72. Now this is, listen to me good, family, because at the coronation of the emperor, no, this ain't no myth. It was 72 that appeared. In the Bible, you know, it's 72 disciples Christ really originally had. Moses also left his spirit on 72 of the elders, and in different outlooks and theologies and mythology, you find 72. Now, let us get into this here, family, before we seal up. Now, the 72 is seen in certain places. Let us just look at this quickly. What does the angel number 72 mean spiritually? So 72 is seen as one of these angel numbers, okay. The spiritual meaning of angel number 72 is to embrace you, to embrace the leader in you. Now, this is obvious. The leader, the 72, the leader, the Osiris story leader, 72 at Haile Selassie's coronation leader. Your angels are telling you that you are a strong person with the capacity to lead others. You just need the spiritual enlightenment to see it for yourself. Your angels are advising you to pay attention to your spiritual life. Constant communication with the divine realm will grant you favor, and you will receive the spiritual insight, intuition, and wisdom to discern your surroundings. Your angels are also telling you to stand for your beliefs. Such is the characteristic of a good leader. And it goes on and on. Okay, this is just something that came from numerologynation.com. Now, basically, it's just highlighting the number 72 and its spiritual meaning according to the research that these people here would have done. And the number 72, as you could see here, stands for a lot of leadership qualities and the leadership character, really. So I was just highlighting that to you. Also, the number 72 is also seen in the world of economics as an important number within the rules of doubling finance. At a specific time, let me just give you a quick thing here coming from Investopedia.com. What is the rule of 72? Now listen to this. The rule of 72 is a simple way to determine how long an investment will take to double, given a fixed annual rate of investment or rate of interest, dividing 72 by the annual rate of return gives investors a rough estimate of how many years it will take for the initial investment to duplicate itself. All right, I don't know if you understand the language, but the point is the rule of 72. Good. Let me just give you key takeaways. The rule of 72 in this case is not precise, but it's a quick way to get a useful ballpark figure. for investments without a fixed rate of return, you can divide 72 instead by the number of years you hope it will take to double your money. This will give you an estimate of the annual rate of return you will need to achieve that goal. Okay, and that goes on and on. So I'm just giving you an idea of where you find the number 72 as it relates to, you could see in the world of investment, and we also saw it in the world of the angelic realm, the number 72, the number 11, the number 33, you know. Okay, now in the world of mathematics, and this is coming from where now, Wolfram Mathworld, wolframmathworld.com. Achilles number. I think they got this from the whole Achilles. That's another myth again, the Achilles myth. An Achilles number is a positive integer that is powerful in the sense that each prime factor occurs with exponent greater than 1, but imperfect in the sense that the number is not a perfect power. The first few are 72, 108, 200, 288, 392, 432, and it goes on. And so what I'm highlighting here is that in the realms of mathematics, there's something known as the Achilles numbers. And you just got a definition there. I'm not going to try to break that down at the moment, but the point is that the smallest Achilles number is 72. And interestingly, the next number is 108. All right, let's go a little deeper into this now. So this one is coming from ridingthebeast.com. That ain't good. But anyway, but the information is quite sound here. Properties of number 72. There's a lot in this section here now, so I'm going to be skipping over a few things, some of which I may have even mentioned before. And it says that the number 72 in symbolism represents the number of the earth. According to Alendi, it is the differentiation 2 in cosmic series 70, producing the extreme multiplicity of the aspects, moreover interdependent between them. 7 plus 2 equals 9. Okay, it would express also the solidarity in the multiplicity 8 multiplied by 9. I showed that before, showing the harmony and reciprocity in universal relationships of things. Pardon me. And of course, that comes with Ma'at as well, reciprocity. Oh, pardon me, you don't know how it is sometimes with the words. Anyway, this says 6012, 6012, 6012. You got a 6012, yeah, 60 plus 12, I know it's 72, so I guess that is what it is, 6012. It's considered as harmful in the apocrypha, the apocryphal books of the Old Testament that speaks about the 72 dead, will of Abraham, and the 72 sicknesses, life of Adam and Eve. All right, okay. The Bible, the 72 disciples sent by Jesus. That's in Luke chapter 10, verse 1. The 70 ancients accompanying Moses that received an outpouring of the Spirit. Now, we mentioned that one also earlier. The 70 ancients accompanying Moses that received an outpouring of the Spirit, plus the 2 absent ones which had remained in the camp, Eldad and Medad. And you see that in the book of Numbers. And it says here, this is an interesting one. Check out this one here, family. The 72 races resulting from Noah, they are enumerated in chapter 10 of Genesis, of the Genesis. There are 15 descendants by Japheth, 30 by, this says Shem, no, Ham, that's Ham. It says it has Shem, has Sham, 30 by Sham, but I think that's Ham, and 27 by Shem. This has Sem. Okay, I don't know if these are different pronunciations or typographical, I don't know. But anyway, there are 15 descendants by Japheth, 30 by Ham, 27 by Shem. The list is arbitrary since the descendants of Peleg are not taken into account, and that the fathers are counted at the same time that their sons. The 72 languages confused to the Tower of Babel. Okay, so there's 72 languages that were confused by at the Tower of Babel. But before we get there, so according to this, this is something I'm sure many people never came across. Let me just get back to that. The 72 races, although they're saying they're different variations and outlook on it, but still, another school of thought, the 72 races resulting from Noah. Okay, interesting. And then you have, certain other things here that highlight the number 72. In several mystical revelations, it is often questioned of the 12 apostles and 72 disciples of the last times, which will teach, preach, and cure, and this in all parts of the world, on all continents. Okay, then you also have, you see the 72 mentioned in other different places here, the 72 old men of the synagogue, according to Zohar, that's from the Zohar doctrine, according to the visions of Anne Catherine Emmerich, after his temptation in the desert, Jesus Christ is served by 12 superior angels and 72 angels of lesser rank. Okay, this one here says the Mahomet prophet suggests to begin and to finish the meals by the sword because it is a remedy against 72 sickness. This is an interesting one. Check this out. In the gospel according to Philip and in the gospel of the childhood of Jesus, it is written that one day while he was a youth, Jesus entered in the dying of Levi. He took 72 colors. You get that one. He took 72 colors and threw them in the cauldron. Then Levi was in anger, but Jesus, take out them all white and tails. Take out them all white and tails. I don't know if there's a grammatical error here. It is thus indeed that the Son of Man has come as dyer. Okay, well anyway, however that is written, the point is that so he now went into the dyeing room, not dye like you're dead, where you dye clothes, and he took 72 colors. So maybe being mischievous, he took the 72 colors and threw them into the cauldron. And Levi now was angry with him and came and I guess said, hey man, what's going on? Look how you put all of the colors there. And then he, the Jesus, the Christ figure, put out his hand in the cauldron and took out the white cloth, and it was white, basically. That's the point. And he's showing him that the Son of Man is come as a dyer. So that alone is obviously one of them deep sort of parable sort of expression, esoteric things of the Christ, just like when he fed them the two fish and 5 loaves. 5 and 2 is 7, and you can go into the maths. And one time he fed 5,000, and the next time he fed 7,000, and then he got back 12 basket fragments. All of that is maths. All of that is deep science. So that's how you have to look at a lot of these stories here. We're not going to stay forever on this. The disciples, 72 disciples of Confucius, according to the Zohar, the degrees of Jacob's ladder were to the number of 72. That's a deep one. Check that out. According to Zohar, the degrees of the Jacob's ladder were to the number 72. So that's very interesting. Here, the name of God is composed of 72 letters according to the Kabbalistic tradition. It comes from the mystical text called the Scriptum Forash of the Exodus, chapter 14, verse 19, 20, and 21, of which each one is composed of 72 letters in the original Hebrew text. It is this inevitable name of God who murmured the great priest in the middle of the shouts of the crowd. Okay, it was replaced later by the sacred name WHYH, which is Yahweh. I think it's pronounced Yahuwah, than Kabbalistic pronounced by the spelling them one after the other, Yod He Wah He. All right, it is also by extraction and transposition of the 3 verses of the Shekman Forash that Kabbalistic deduce the name of the 72 spirits or angels of the Kabbal, which they call the explained divine name. All right, so you see the 72 day again, and the 72 intelligence governing the 72 zodiac terms according to the Kabbalah. And then you have 72 translators. That is, of course, for the Septuagint. We mentioned that before. Osiris, look at here, Osiris was enclosed in the coffin by 72 disciples. Also, Chinese has 36 beneficial stars, 72 malevolent stars, and there's some constitute the sacred number 108. Remember, 72 and 108 were actually the first 2 numbers when it comes to the Achilles numbers. And listen, we can go through this. Look at here, the axis of the earth moves 1 degree every 72 years compared to the star on the vault of the heavens. And this is important also as it relates to the heavens and all of that, the moon and the stars. Maspero mentioned a fable of Egyptian origin where Mercury, which is Tahuti, would have, according to the legend, played chess with the moon, Kunsu or Hetaru, and would have earned to him the 72nd part of a day. And this 72nd part of a day multiplied by 360, our original number of the day in 1 year, that's in Kemet, 360, gives 5 days, which have been added to the Egyptian and the Peruvians in their calendar, added by them in their calendar, pardon me. So that is the 72nd part of the day that was given to Tahuti, which they consider to be Mercury. The Second World War lasted 72 months. You can understand that. That's very deep. The mass of the moon is the 72nd of that of the earth. I think that should be the mass of the moon is 72 times. The earth is that 72 times of the moon, because they have 72, but they have TH. 72 should be ND, 72nd. All right. But you could get the point of exactly what they're saying there. A little grammatical error thereof. But the point is now, so 72, as you could obviously see, is not just used haphazardly in the mythos. That is why the mythos now, that this is to prove to you, family, that the mythos itself is very scientific. What you call mythology, the esoteric writings, even that which is seen in the Bible, it is very scientific. So it is obviously dealing with physics. It is obviously dealing with chemistry. It is obviously dealing with biology. It is obviously dealing with astronomy. Some may argue that it's dealing with astrology, but it comes down into story form. It comes down into parable form. Some people will call it fable. Some people will call it fiction. But that depends on how you look at it. Now, does that take away from it being literal? It cannot take away from it being literal. Look, Haile Selassie the first. Negusenagas, literally in 1930, fulfilled the Osiris mystery, which is considered a fable, which is considered fiction, which is considered, what else is considered? Esoteric, mythic, all of that stuff. That's what is considered. And it is. It is. I'm not saying it's not. It's also considered prophecy, but prophecy cannot just float in the wind forever. Prophecy must come to reality in history. And this is exactly what we see with His Majesty and Empress Menen in 1930, when they so-called discovered Pluto, which again, according to the ancient Kemeter, is Asa, the same Osiris. So you can see again the reality. So all what we just went through as it relates to the 72. The 72 years for the sun to move 1 degree. All of these things were taken into consideration when the mythos were put together, understanding the movements of the heavens. But the mythos has come alive, has become crystallized fully in our presence as Emperor Haile Selassie I and the full coronation and everything else that took place after that. Because remember, even when we did the program as it relates to where the heavens was at the coronation of the King of Kings, you could see that the scorpion was already choking on Venus. Already choking on Venus, eh? Jupiter and not Jupiter, the sun. The sun and Mars were coming out of the womb of Virgo together at the same time. Let me just make sure we have that correct. But the point is, that was right in front of Scorpio. And that is why I was showing to you, family, and you could look at it right here. This is the ancient heavens chart highlighting exactly what was taking place at the coronation of Negus. It was the sun and Mercury. Both of them were coming out of the constellation of Virgo at the time of the coronation. And remember, Virgo is that woman that is giving birth now. Because remember, the Revelation 12, that woman that is giving birth represents Ethiopia, giving birth to the man-child that shall rule. Yes, we can speak of the birth of the king, but the coronation is highly symbolic of a birth. You understand? Because again, the dragon stood before the woman ready to devour that man-child as soon as it was born. And the year prior to the coronation, remember they signed that pact, Gaspian, Mussolini, and Pope Pius XI, and all of these fellas basically making the Vatican a city-state officially. And as they said, making the Pope an absolute monarch. So they say, you understand? So it's a deep thing. So you could see it in the heavens that the sun and Mercury are coming out. Same Mercury here. You see Mercury, which is Tahuti, which was given the 72nd part of the day, coming out now of the womb of Virgo at the coronation to enter the scale, because she was giving birth to the man-child that is to rule. That's where the sun going to rule now. And of course, the dragon is right there, already choking on Venus. Yes, but of course, we already know how the story went. And that is why Saturn is right at the the temple of Sagittarius, who is the man with the bow and arrow, according to Revelation 6, that came off of the white horse Capricorn and was given the crown, and he has the bow and arrow ready to lick Scorpio. So everything has already been prophesied, even in the heavens, and even how it will turn out when the war was to kick off with Mussolini and when he invaded Ethiopia, you know. So everything is so clear, family, and give thanks for such understanding, and give thanks for the coronation of Negus and August. Give thanks for the coronation of the King of Kings, as you could divinely see, that everything is well in sync and it is well in order, and biologically and on all levels of science. Haile Selassie I is well in tune. And what is interesting, again, even to seal up this, what is interesting again more than anything else is that what we may consider, hey, let me show you it. When I did the program with Brother Anko Madrid, for those of you who didn't see that program, you should go and check that one out. The fella that did Lord, what's his name? Raglan, Lord Raglan, his 22 points of the hero, he was saying the higher the points, the more mythical the character. You hear that, no, man? The higher the points, the more mythical the character. And Haile Selassie I scored higher than maybe any one of the characters that he had there. And that is why we were saying the higher the points, the more realistic the character, which is Haile Selassie I. So that's interesting, Neil, because what I have showed you tonight is that you could see in mythology, again, in all the sciences, you can see it in the religious books, in all the religious ideologies, you know, not just the number 72, but other aspects that come alive in the literal historical expression of Emperor Haile Selassie I. In other words, he have all the characteristics of all the heroes, all the gods, not just 22, you know, 72 and beyond. Yeah, man, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So family, give thanks continually again. We are continuing to encourage the family to be with us on Sunday. We're going to be having a beautiful reasoning, a beautiful discussion around the whole aspect of Rastafari moving forward and the future of Rastafari. One of the main aspects we will be touching upon is our economic state. We will also be looking at the theology of Rastafari, you know, the advancement, how it's evolving, if it is supposed to evolve, if it is supposed to just be the same thing, whatever the case is. And it will be welcome to the House of Priests meeting, Rasta round table. So you could imagine what a wonderful gathering that will be, as we come together with one harmony and a good discussion and good reasoning and up full vibration. And that will be at 3 p.m. sharp. That will be on both Radio Anu International radio station, online radio station, as well as Radio Anu TV that you are scoping at right here. It's going to be a beautiful one. Looking forward to your presence for the full day, Patreon's Day, from 6 in the a.m. to 6 in the p.m., full around the clock, just good vibration all the way through, good speakers, lecturers, great presentations, special announcements. I myself will be launching again the Save the Green Castle Hill project. We'll be launching also the Preserve the Generations campaign. and many different things will be taking place on that day. So we're looking forward to your presence. Make sure you share the word. Patrons Day, the 5th of November, Sunday the 5th of November, all day affair. Give thanks to the coronation of the King of Kings, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Bless.
My beloved family, every year for the past 10 years, I have hosted the Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition. Over the years, it would have grown by leaps and bounds to engulf the whole nation and beyond. As His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey has taught us, a people without knowledge of self is like a tree without roots. Internationally, wherever African people are found, the education system is not geared to teach them about the knowledge of self. This lack of knowledge of self greatly fuels the downward spiral from the womb to the tomb for many of our people. Let me remind you of the officially recognized school to prison pipeline. The African History Month essay competition has been designed to encourage and inspire the zeal in our children for the knowledge of self. The competition encourages them to research their history and heritage, then articulate it in essay form. This is a project that demands thousands of dollars just for the basic prizes, marketing, and promotion. But we are not focused on the basics. We are thinking big. We have children to save. On Sunday, the 5th of November, 2023, we of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will be hosting the 3rd of our annually presented Patrons Day. On that day, we present our international webathon designed to create and raise the funds for our national and international African History Month essay competition. To deliver a well-executed Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition with prize-giving ceremony and banquet attached, the budget will be $26,500 United States currency. This is for the national essay competition, while the international essay competition will be $31,225 United States currency, a small price for the results that will come. It is obvious that we have been consistent with this project. We have a clear record of good accountability and great transparency. So those who are well-wishers of our children should feel free to contribute to this very important and timely project. Our ultimate target on Patrons Day, the 5th of November, 2023, is $57,725. Family, we are looking for your genuine assistance in this long-running, well-respected project, Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge African History Month essay competition. Patrons Day, 5th of November, 2023. You can contribute via PayPal, CashApp, and via other apps. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Give thanks. in advance.